welcome back. This is episode 8 of Let's Talk About Funko. I'm here, your host, Reggie.
Mario.
And our guest today.
Hi, I'm April. My IG handle is mooncat2020. Maybe some of you have seen some of my work. Maybe some of you are new to it.
We've talked about her in the past. We've had CJ on here, and we mentioned her a few times. So let's talk about what you do. And, you just mention everything and anything you do. Because even though this is a Funko show, we do talk about other things, collecting as well as other figures. So we're not just going to stick on Funko. I see right here, we have Tiny Ghost, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have My Little Pony. I'm not sure if you just call that anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, it's still My Little Pony.
So I was like, and she does other things as well as collects many other things. We've been on other shows with her, like 5 Points, where we saw her buy other figures and go crazy.
Yes.
You can mention that too.
What? No, I don't ever spend money at those. No.
So just talk.
I started customizing. My first figures were Funko. I started customizing probably about 5 or 6 years ago. The first one I ever did was a My Little Pony. Funko had the big vinyl figures that they did of like the ponies.
Mm-hmm.
So Flutterbat was my favorite from the My Little Pony show. And I created her off of that. So I made like these giant wings. I made like the messy hair. And that kind of started my obsession with customizing. I haven't had a chance to customize as much lately, but like I've got a couple of things right now.
Okay, you said 5 years ago you started doing that. So how long have you been collecting Funko Pops?
Wow. Let me see.
And how many do you have?
That's one thing we always ask each other.
So the last time I counted, it was probably about 1,700 to 1,800 Funkos.
That's yours alone? Is that not including?
That includes his, but his is only like 100 to 200, if that.
Wow,
Wait,
Derek,
mine.
where are you?
And where is Derek?
Wow, so that's a lot.
Yeah.
I had a lot, but
Oh, it's kind of an
I've went down, but she's been collecting for that long of a time, so.
Yeah, I've got some of the some of the
OGs
ones. Yeah, some
and-
of the OGs.
wow.
Yeah.
You have a lot of OGs, I bet you.
Yeah.
I've seen people walk around with just like Avenger OGs, and those are they're getting up there because they're OGs, so they're hard to find. And if you have them in good boxes, do you keep them in good boxes? Do you keep them out? What do you do?
It depends on the figure itself.
Okay.
So like my favorite ones that I like having out are the Adventure Time ones.
Oh, okay.
Because they're so cute. But the ones like this, like my DBZ collection, I actually have almost all of them except some of the newer ones.
oh,
But I
okay.
even have Planet Arlia.
Oh, okay.
And those I like to keep on my shelf in their boxes. And then I'll put like some of the statues around them, like the DBZ statues, any other like little mini figures like that. So it's just like a whole wall of DBZ stuff.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
This one's obviously signed. So how many signatures do you have?
Honestly, it's not as many as I'd like. I
Watch
probably only have. I probably only have like. No.
He's near the door.
I'm watching you. No, I probably have like 5 or 6. I have Tara Strong on the White
Okay.
Raven,
Oh, wow.
Christopher Sabat on the Piccolo, and then I have I got
Tara
Richard-
Strong, did she do other voices?
Yeah, she actually. I wanted her to sign one of my. I wanted her to sign my Princess Twilight Sparkle pony,
Okay.
but
She's done a lot of voices.
she's done like everything since.
Because isn't she also a Harley Quinn?
She's Harley Quinn.
Okay, that's what I
and
was gonna
she's
say.
done. I forget. I think it was Tommy Pickles. I could be wrong. She did a voice on the Rugrats.
Okay, wow.
Oh, wow, I
yeah,
didn't know that.
She's done a ton of voices.
Rugrats confuses me because they got people like what Busta Rhymes doing the dinosaur, right?
Hey, sure. I like that dinosaur. I like that dinosaur.
So it's like, come on, it's like the weirdest things, but voice actors are the best. So it's like,
Oh yeah.
it's just they, that's our childhood. So getting their signatures on something and just knowing who they are. It's like just like your papa over here, Optimus Prime, and knowing that he did other voices besides that is like, just amazes us. But so you have some stuff here you want to show it off to people out there. You can talk to us like, how do you exactly do this? Like, you don't have to give us the inside information. Like when she told me she did wings, I'm over here thinking that must be the hardest thing to do on any figure, because wings, the weight of it could just come down and get frustrated, and that just sounds amazing to me, just to do something like that.
Yeah, how do you do the wings? Like
so
fabrics?
It depends on what, like, I've kind of evolved as I've been doing customs.
Yeah, 5 years. You have to.
So, like, when I first started, I literally, like, these are some of the first ones I did. These are the 3 of the 6 sisters of Ariel.
Okay.
I only bought 3 of them because transporting 6 of them would have been a pain. But so, since they were some of the first ones I did, their hair is made solidly out of clay, which makes them really heavy. So if I actually moved these 2, I'm sure that their hair would make them fall down.
Yeah.
So I didn't know any better, so a lot of my things I would make just solid out of clay. And then as I started learning more, I realized that you can use like aluminum foil or any kind of like sculpting stuff, like hard plastics, anything like that that's moldable. You can pretty much add that onto your figure as a piece that'll make it lighter, and then you can put the clay on top of that and kind of straighten it out, and it creates a lighter figure piece.
Do you because I know CJ, he told us at least one procedure he does. He says he bakes them.
Oven.
Yeah.
Do you do the same thing?
So it depends. So these were the sisters. They're actually air dry clay. So I just very slowly like layered them.
That's why they're heavy. Yeah,
that's why they're heavy.
I was thinking about doing that myself on like one of the first ones I ever wanted to do, but I keep on hearing how heavy that is.
Yeah, it's really heavy. So it all depends on like what kind of material you're using. Sometimes for like thicker pieces, I will bake it. But if it's just like a really tiny little piece that I'm like making an accessory for or something, I actually have a heat gun that I'll put it onto the figure, and then I'll take my heat gun on high or low and just really quickly kind of go over it until it's hardened. And then I don't have to put it in the oven, because sometimes Funko's not too bad, but certain other figures, if you put them in the oven, they'll kind of warp a little bit.
I've heard of that, yeah.
Well, they'll like eventually pop back out into place, but even that little bit of divoting can affect your clay.
Okay.
So I find it easier when I'm working with smaller detailed stuff to do a heat gun, because I can put it on there really fast, let it cool down, and go back over it as many times as need be, and I don't have to worry about it warping.
Okay. Have you done any customs on actual like bobblehead ones? Because I've heard that's like a hard thing to do.
So these are actually bobblehead ones.
Oh, they are? Whoa.
Yeah, they were. Well, I put the springs don't really work on them anymore because it would have been too hard. But they actually had springs in them because the base that I used was just the DIY head, and then I took Ariel's body. Which, if I'm not mistaken, it was Ariel's body that was the springy one. I kind of forget at this point. But yeah, they actually have springs in there. So I just literally took the plugs, glued the plugs into the springs, and then like twisted it in.
Yeah, because I think it was, if like you said, it's heavy. So if it was still springs or bobbleheads,
yeah, it'd probably be like
really bad.
Oh, and for those people that don't know what DIY is, what is it?
Oh, those are the do-it-yourself pops. They're literally just like these really cool blank pops that are
There's
just
only
like,
2 of them.
Yeah, they're like solid. There's like that. Oh, there's a male and a female. Yeah.
And the female looked kind of manly too.
It's true,
like
yeah.
an MMA fighter or something like that. She's not much of a female. But yeah, I just saw stuff from San Diego, and I just saw Fluffy.
Oh yeah.
To me, I like how he looks. I'm not crazy about like he doesn't look big.
He's not fluffy enough.
He's not fluffy enough. I'm sorry. I was like, it's kind of sad because you want to make yourself look exactly like yourself, but you don't want to look too fat. But You're fluffy. Like, come on, that's your character. You should be a little bit bigger than most other characters. I was like, it's not like, right now Pops have evolved from what they used to be before. All Pops used to be the same pose. I do get tired of seeing when they are the same pose after a while, like when they make molds of the same thing. But
same mold.
like the Batmans and all these Avengers that came out, like, ugh. But some of these actually new ones are coming out better looking and everything. So it's just happy to see that. And then I love that all these new custom people out there doing their things.
They are.
So like we said, we'd love to have more people out here to show us what they do. I know you said this is only a few that you have because you pretty much sold many, right?
Yeah, so like most of the ones that I did a few commission pieces that people asked for. So one of the pieces I did was somebody played, I want to say it was WoW, but I'm not sure which one it was at this point. And he wanted me to make his avatar figure.
Wow.
So I like sculpted the face on a do-it-yourself pop and like did all this stuff. And then I've done actually a few like mashup pieces. Like somebody wanted a Harley mixed with oh God, what's her name? The Queen from Snow White.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
Maleficent.
awesome.
Yeah.
Maleficent.
And so like I kind of did a few
That's cool.
mashups like that. I've also done a few of the Loyal Subject pieces, which are these ponies. So I did what was it?
That's awesome.
Yeah, I did a couple of, like, I did one like this pretty much, Swiftwing, which is She-Ra's pony. I did something like that for somebody. And then I've actually done, I don't know, like, if a lot of people know what it is, but of Quicks pieces. I've done a couple of Quicks pieces for people as well.
Wow,
I've
that would
seen
be
a
awesome to
couple.
watch. I was wondering they shouldn't actually like make a Funko Pop of Quicks. It'd be
That
awesome.
would be cool, yeah.
Like, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh my God. It was actually my first time meeting him. Met him actually with you guys. So cool guy, real cool guy. Love the pieces he had. It was just great shows to see. I see, like you said, you mentioned Tiny Ghosts. You have one of these ones here. How many do you do of those?
I haven't done too many just because, no, it's fine.
So
I
that's
knew.
what I was
Yeah,
like, sorry.
they're old, so they're those first pieces you learn from them, but they're heavy.
Yeah.
So I haven't really done too many just because there have been a couple of times where I've gone to do an idea and somebody's already done it, and then I don't want to do the same thing somebody else has
So
done.
you feel like you're not copying off of somebody.
Exactly. So
Sorry.
one that I've done that I don't have any pictures of because the person didn't really
I'm
want.
like knocking everything over.
Fine, don't you worry about it.
She's like, I'm gonna kill you. I have cards.
Like I said, they're old, so like it's fine.
Yeah.
But like one
Actually
that I
stood by herself.
yeah, she's the only one, kind of.
Kind of.
Here, let's-
Piccolo over there getting mad because they're moving them around too
I
much.
know, right? Piccolo's like, come on, I'm trying to rest over here. But there's one Tiny Ghost that I did that I don't really have a lot of pictures. Well, I don't have any pictures of that somebody had wanted me to do, which was I put him in a little Disney shirt and I created a little balloon out of resin and clay, like the Mickey Mouse balloons. And then I put little Mickey ears on him. So it looked like, the other hand, he had a half-eaten Mickey Mouse ice cream cone.
Oh, wow.
Exactly. So
Isn't that pretty cool? Look at the crown over here.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't. Oh.
Now Barry's gonna wish wearing it.
when I go to Disney, this is what I'm gonna wear.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going in October.
Oh, nice. So
Right
am
after
I.
Comic Con.
Oh,
That's so
awesome.
nice of you, sir. That's so nice of you. So now I know I'm not getting paid.
You're just gonna sneak in a suitcase.
Disney's very selective, sir.
As you can see, they let any midget go to this.
Hey, I go with Snow White. I'm good. Man. So it's amazing to see these things. It's just I was so delicate with the stuff
No.
because she actually has like little extra pieces in here, like
Oh, yeah,
like
that's
it's,
what I wanted to ask.
it's very intricate. So
Oh yeah.
For those little intricate pieces and, accessories and everything like that, is it more difficult than doing the molding? Because sometimes like these little beads and little stuff like that, and like let's say you put weapons like that, is it harder to do them little touch-ups and them little accessories than anything else?
It kind of is, just because like these are pretty much straightforward pieces, so you kind of know like this is how their hair is gonna be. Like doing her hair, I don't know if you can see it, but like doing her hair, these like little pieces back here when I was first learning, those were very difficult.
Okay.
Because it was all a matter of trying to figure out how to space her hair and how to cut it and make it still look like it was all one piece.
Yeah.
But it's difficult to do the accessories just because like on these, I'm sure that you guys can see them at least. Some of them are a little uneven. So I had to like individually make the balls, and then like I didn't really know how to paint them, so I literally just put them in a box with some paint and like rolled them around a few times. So depending on the accessories, like if it's a larger one, they're easy, but like anything this delicate, they're a little bit harder because trying to put them on there evenly is also a pain because you have to get the right amount of glue, the right amount of space between them, and if you run out of tweezers or something.
Have you ever gotten frustrated where you just broke the whole thing?
I know. Because I know CJ says it's very intricate and very hard to, if you do a design like on their back or on their chest, like he says he has to get like a big spotlight and then tweezers and all that.
Yeah, you have to.
Oh yeah.
It's, I bet you with magnifying lens and everything. That's it's just getting these little extra pieces. Imagine.
I actually even bought I like looked it up online, and they have the world's tiniest paintbrush, and I bought that for like some of my smaller, more delicate pieces. Like whenever I was working on the Quicks piece, the lady wanted a lot of detail on the arms.
Okay.
So she wanted like a skull and crossbone and a Vita symbol. So I had to go in there with like this paintbrush, and it took me a while because if you make a mistake with paint, you have to like pretty much sand it off and start all over
the little
again.
drum mold over here. Wow. This is why I don't do it. I wanted to do it, and it just sounds like a lot of work.
Do you use like a lot of people say they draw this, but I don't see a lot of people do customize that. They use stencils. They put stencils there, they tape it, and then they paint it. Do you do stuff like that, or do you do everything by freehand?
I do it freehand just because I find personally for me that stencils don't seem to work. Just because it's too, for me, I'm like good at computers, but I'm not that great at like the paint apps and stuff. So I can never get them to the right size that I need them. And then I'm not the best at drawing, but for some reason when I'm painting or sculpting, it's easier than like trying to actually draw something.
Okay.
So yeah, I just do it by freehand and hope that I don't mess up.
So usually people hit you up online and say, hey, wants you do something for me, or they just...
Yeah, so the first few times I literally just made like a couple of these ponies and like the girls, and I just posted them up on Facebook in a couple of groups, and then some people were like, oh, I really like your stuff, like would you mind doing something for me? So usually it's just I'll do something and post it up, and then people from there will just be like, oh, well, since you did this, can you make this?
Okay. Do you like ask for money ahead? Do you, because I understand there's a whole different thing to it. It's like, I could bet you, there's people, I'm not saying you, probably other people that have been burned by getting something together and the person never pays you, so you just got a pop line around there for no reason.
Yeah, so it depends on the person because
if you know them or not, I guess.
Yeah, because if I like know them from a few of the groups, or I know they've got a good reputation or whatever, I personally like to do the work first. Okay. Just because I want to make sure that the customer's happy with what they get, because I know that even though I do customization and it's something I enjoy, I know that I'm not like the best customized or out there yet. So I don't want somebody to be like, oh, this isn't what I asked for. So I try to make them happy, and then like once it's done, they can pay me. Or if I don't know them that well, then I'll usually do like I want half down, and then
That's reasonable.
upon
That's
completion,
Definitely.
yeah.
Definitely
Do
reasonable.
you make boxes too, or
No, that's the one thing I haven't learned to do.
It's a difficult process.
Yeah, it's difficult. I want to learn how to do it eventually, because it'd be cool just to make even like a tiny box ghost or something like that.
Yeah.
But for right now, that's something I just haven't learned. how
I've
to
seen
do.
this stuff in the Funko forum, which I haven't been in. Sorry, guys.
No,
Yeah, I haven't
same.
been
It's
in
been
a
like
while.
I've been like almost half a year not on that
Same,
website.
yeah.
This has been dead, but I know they had files to do that stuff
yeah?
for a while. It's very if you really want to get into stuff, go into the Funko forum and they show you a lot of stuff on there. Actually forgot the actual page. I'll look it up.
Funko Fantastic.
Was it
Funko Fantastic.
.com?
.com. If I'm not mistaken.
It's
It's been in a while.
It's been a while.
I have it saved on my phone. So
Yeah,
I
it's
have
on
to,
my
like-
phone, so I just
yeah.
go on and it's like, yeah, it's been a while, but they have a lot of information on there because people are pretty much great on there. They'll show you how to take a photo of something right. The photography on those things is amazing. It's like you could do all this custom work, but to get it a nice little photo of it makes it even more worth it.
Yeah, I know they have now they got this little box that you can.
Oh,
put
the box that people
Yeah,
use for
light
eBay
up,
and everything.
yeah.
Yeah, you make your own DIY one.
Yeah.
If you go to YouTube and you can make that. I think Jersey Funko showed me how to do it. Thanks, George. But I haven't done it yet. It's so much you can find on YouTube. Thank God, since, like you say, you've been collecting Funko for a while. There's so many people out there in Funko world. We haven't even gone to the West Coast. It's worldwide. This is why we love this stuff. Even collecting. I don't have any tiny ghosts. I'm part of the club, but don't have any. It's always popped up.
I just
and
see
it's-
them. I don't.
Yeah,
I
it's
haven't
like-
even caught one yet.
Yeah,
I
it's
haven't
like,
got one
not
yet.
even the plushie. So it's
Oh,
like,
I know. That's the one I really want. That one was hard to get.
I didn't even get a mini,
Oh.
but
So I was like, but yeah, it's always great to see all this stuff here. So what we've talked about, pretty much, we haven't talked about costs because that's something you could talk to customers for and everything. But what's the time frame on these things?
It depends on kind of what people want. So this one, the pony, the Swiftwing one, that one only took me like, I think total time about 3 hours.
Wow.
The longest thing for that one was really just letting the paint dry. But for these, because I had to wait, I had to like slowly sculpt the hair on. They took a while.
Yeah.
Plus, I was doing all 6 of them at the same time,
Oh, wow.
and the little accessories, because it was supposed to be my entry for the Funko contest for San Diego. Did not win, but it probably took me about a good 3 to 4 weeks to really finish all of those up. I would say that's a long time to really do that for me, but.
wait, the San Diego one that
I'm not sure who won this year at all.
think-
I didn't see it this
I
year.
didn't see it this year.
that was the one that you. I know you signed for it, but was that the one that had the controversy that it was just a paint over? Was it that one?
It was a paint over or the Frankenstein or something like that?
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
paint over that they didn't do it anything. They just painted over it and put it in a box or whatever, and then they were, it was a legit.
There's
done.
some paint overs I enjoy. So
Yeah.
I bought a paint over. I don't mind if someone still work one person's doing, but if you're doing a contest,
Yeah.
it should be, and it's custom. It should be actually custom.
Yeah,
That's
especially
right.
if it's like a big contest.
Yeah, big contest. It should be like somebody actually did something. Someone popped a head on a body. They did work to it.
Yeah.
So like this right here, obviously you just told us Ariel's body. You painted every little piece of it. I can see that. Then you had a
The
DIY,
hair,
a DIY head, which you put hair on it. You changed. You gave it everything else. So imagine that's a lot of work. I'm just looking at it now. I can't do half of this stuff because my hand is not even steady. I've seen your hand is not steady, but you she's obviously doing better than anything else. And this is actually work right here. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
because
work.
like what helped
And it's
was
on point. So-
well, what helped with the faces is that like I was able to have a friend of mine who has an airbrush. That's the only thing I will
Oh,
say.
wow.
She was able to airbrush the faces for
Nice.
me. But everything else was like I did that.
So, what out of your collection? I know you have this here. What's your real, true, biggest Funko you have that you love a lot?
It's definitely this one
Oh,
and
okay.
my Planet Arlia.
Oh, okay.
Because like
Is that the first one or is that the newer one?
that's the like really expensive one from Toy Tokyo.
Yeah, let's go.
One of these days, we'll see the camera in April's house.
Maybe you have to dig through some boxes and go through a bunch of rooms.
Whoa. But it's, thank you for coming through. We're running out of time already. Hopefully we have you again. But thank you. It's going to be talking about you more and more. And definitely go onto her page. Check out her customs. Say your page again. IG?
It's Mooncat at or Mooncat 2020. Sorry.
No problem. We'll have it under here too, so you'll see it under her name. And thank you again for coming.
And thanks for having me.
Take care.
Bye.
Take care. See you later.